You get someone as good as Ron Paul, you don't want him to leave. You want him to hold his ground and do his best. But Ron Paul was also fighting for term limits.
Yeah, because isn't that where the sort of Washington attitude comes in of like, hey, I know you want me, but I'm out. I'm going back to my farm. I'm going to... Because that's what power was supposed to be. It was supposed to be people that have built businesses or served their communities. They go in, they work in Congress for a bit, and then they depart. They keep going with their lives. Like, that was what it was supposed to be.
The idea is, with term limits, you will have shadow organizations that are propping up their next crop of candidates, and they'll be cultivating them years in advance, and then they're going to control the political frontrunners. And they do this. They do. They will get press attention for their young person they want to run eventually. And the idea with term limits is it would actually, the rare time you get someone good who's very popular and loved by the community, they have to go, and now you're starting from scratch. Meanwhile, you're up against a massive machine that's cranking and churning out these NPC-like candidates. I'm not saying I actually disagree with term limits. I'm actually for it for the most part, because the ban on political donations from lobbyists and PACs, I think, actually solves a lot of those issues.
When you were describing that, for some reason, I was thinking about AOC, but that's beyond the point. I'm still very bullish on this NASCAR suit idea, which I think would solve a lot of problems, so the American people would know whatever corporation is financing and sponsoring these people. But I don't think there's anything solving this problem. Yeah. If we look at this problem, it's been consistent. It's been going on for a very long time. I still remember when we were making videos, there was a new study that came out, and this was when we were talking many, many years ago, specifically looking at the wants, interests, and needs of the American people that never get met in Congress. Special interest groups do get met.
It's a big Occupy Wall Street talking point.
Exactly. And it's a real talking point when you look at the data, when you look at the people's wants and needs, and you look at what Congress is doing. It's usually the exact opposite of that, as of course, they're for the wars, they're for the medical intervention in our lives, they're for extra regulations, extra rules that prevent people from competing with the billionaire class that, of course, they support fully. So I don't think there's any fixing this problem. I think that there's people who are going to walk away from this problem, and I think that's going to be the biggest solution out of all of this, in my opinion.
I think one thing that Trump doesn't get enough credit for is his 5-year lobbying ban on federal officials. So you can't go from a federal office job to lobbying like you used to. And so that he got that done. The new thing now is TV contracts. Yeah. So there's a story about Ken Buck, who was actually one of the guys that voted to remove McCarthy, but he did so because he felt like McCarthy was too aggressive against Hunter Biden. And so, Ken Buck said, I'm not going to vote for this impeachment. And then he walked it back. But then there's a story that came out that said Ken Buck was in negotiations with CNN to get a contract and leave Congress. And so, if you look at like Jason Chaffetz from Utah, he left Congress, got Fox News contract. Trey Gowdy left Congress, got Fox News contract. Booster seat Adam Kinzinger left Congress, got CNN contract. And so because you have this lobbying ban now, the corporate press is just going up and buying these people's opinions and having them go, not lobby, but message. And so, we have to figure out, we have to stop Congress and these federal jobs from being stepping stones to more lucrative careers.